Time for Redskins Life. Larry Michael with Junior Galette. And Junior, I love your stance, man. You're like coiled up like a python. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, has that been something that has evolved? Does that go back to college? I mean,
Yeah.
you've got it in a unique get-off. You got to admit that.
Yeah, it's evolved from college. I usually used to do like a one hand on the ground, but I think all the way to my senior year, I started putting two hands on the ground. It was like, you know what, I can put a little bit more power, you know, just my stance is a little bit more balanced with both hands on the ground. And when I ended up going to New Orleans, my coach taught me that power, you can't see power, but you can see the effects of power, and it moves in a straight line. There's a lot of physics into it. I looked it up, and he was correct, and I started studying it and just made sure that my body, my alignments to my hips and my hands were aligned properly in a straight line, and I lower center of gravity to the ground would produce more power, you know.
Never really thought about it that way. And I tell you what, what's your first move? Are you looking at the ball? How do you gauge that snap count? How do you get off so quick?
I'm looking at the ball and the man. I'll be looking at the guard. It depends. I look at basically everything. It's not really one thing. It's all relative to, you know, to what down it is. You know, his voice. The quarterback's voice box, you can kind of tell when it's a bluff, you know, like.
Okay.
So a lot of things playing a part. I mean, I have probably, I think, like 3 offsides in my career. So yeah, it's been working. So
I haven't seen you go offsides. Let me ask you this. What's going through your head? Are you thinking about your first move? How much does instinct take over? To me, I watch it. It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
But what's going through your head?
It's the first step. You want to get that first down as quick as possible before the offensive tackle gets his first step down. So you're kind of ahead of the game. You know, you're ahead of that, basically that line that you have to get to, where if I get to that line, it doesn't matter where he's at. I'm gonna beat him. He's gonna have to shoot his hands. So I think it's relative to where my first step is at and where his is. If I get off a little slower than usual, then I probably have to get into a little more speed, the power, or more of, you know, finesse type of rush where I can probably spin or, you know, do a Euro step, kind of put in that game. But if I do get off with an amazing first step, I can kind of tell where my body's aligned and his is and his hips. And I say, I'm just going to go straight speed, and I'll wait for him to shoot his hands and knock his hands down.
That happens like that?
Yeah, it does.
It's incredible. More with Junior Galette next time on Redskins Life.